Hello, everyone. My name's Noah Lenstra, and I'm a PhD candidate here at GSLIS. My advisor is Kate Williams, and I work in the Community Informatics Research Lab. And I'm going to be presenting today some research from our lab that I directed. So this paper is about public libraries and everyday heritage services. So everyday heritage refers not to the past produced through historical academic scholarship, but rather to intimate stories of self, family, groups, and places to which one is strongly attached. So little empirical research has explicitly focused on how public libraries serve everyday heritage information needs. And this paper begins to fill this gap by addressing two research questions. Number one, how are public libraries addressing popular interest in everyday heritage? And two, how can cyber-organizing enhance these services? So I found that public libraries offer heterogeneous heritage services in diverse local contexts composed of multiple actors and institutions. Improving this area, I found, requires cyber-organizing within libraries, across local institutions, and across communities. So the term cyber-organizing refers to a concept the Community Informatics Research Lab has been working with for more than a decade, a portmanteau word of cyberspace and community organizing. In these workshops, I was the initial cyber organizer, but I found and worked with other local cyber organizers once in the field. So in this talk, I present findings from a workshop series I organized in spring 2012 on the topic of digital, local, and family history. And the data used in this study come from field notes, workshop transcripts, and questionnaires. The individuals who attended the workshops represented diverse backgrounds, but as this table shows, attendees were older, whiter, and more educated than the general population. So local librarians were amazed at the turnout at the workshops, which was higher than normal programming they had at their libraries, which suggests that this topic is ripe for cyber organizing, which can build upon this base of popular interest to include other sectors of local communities. So public libraries and librarians serve communities' popular interest in everyday heritage in two ways, I found. First, by providing services within the library, and second, by connecting patrons to other heritage providers, both locally and nationally. Virtually all public libraries offer some services in this area, and innovation often comes from motivated staff members attuned to local needs and interests. As a result, services have little uniformity across libraries based on idiosyncratic local histories, divergent local needs and capacity. Some libraries offer robust staffing and services, while others offer barely any at all. Public libraries develop these services in the context of local systems of information provision spanning multiple institutions. One finding across the workshops was that public librarians frame heritage services as part of outreach to underserved communities. In all four workshops, public librarians stressed how important it is to foster engagement with local African American and immigrant communities, and to ensure their heritage is also included in the public library. So during the workshops, I found many examples of cyber organizing in and around public libraries. Using the term cyber organizing to describe this labor helped bring this facet of public librarianship into sharper focus for participants, since the term was not one that they were familiar with prior to the workshops. Participants discussed how cyber organizing could be and is used to address community divides, to build volunteerism, and to connect diverse individuals and groups with the technical means necessary to find and create heritage information, as well as to share it with others. One dimension of cyber organizing centers on popular interest in genealogy. For instance, at one public library, an African American library employee organizes what she calls African American History Days each February. Participants, mostly African American genealogists, said the librarian, bring to this event family and church histories, which the librarian copies and adds to the library's local history archives. This librarian plans to add a digital dimension to this work by creating a digital library where copied documents could be accessed online. This library helps genealogists see individual research projects as building blocks in the wider community's heritage. Cyber-organizing also involves organizing institutions. For instance, during the last 2 decades, an all-volunteer local history museum and archives located in the St. Louis Metro East area has worked with the county's IT department to build heritage infrastructure. The museum receives funding, technical support, server space, and a rent-free building from the county government. A volunteer from the group who attended the workshops told us that, quote, "It is a partnership that truly works," end quote. Although many public libraries lack such technical and financial resources, public librarians in all communities can work to connect local governmental resources with community volunteerism to create similar collaborative services and spaces on small budgets. Of all the technical tools discussed during the workshops, which spanned the range from QR codes to microfilm, Facebook appeared most regularly in participants' discourse. A southern Illinois town demonstrates how Facebook and public librarianship intersect in this area. Librarians there created a very active Facebook page for the library's local history room. This Facebook page shares connections and resources with the volunteer-maintained group You Know You Are from Here and If, and these types of groups exist around the country, as many of you know. Through this mediated collaboration, the public library demonstrates its value both to current and former residents of the local community, all of whom are stakeholders in the library's future. Sustaining such initiatives requires a great deal of local volunteerism, especially since this service area in general receives little funding or visibility in public libraries. In some cases, participants perceived such volunteerism to be fraying. A young IT staff member at a small town public library told us, quote, "We're sort of crumbling around here," end quote. As a result, he found it difficult to mobilize his community around the digital heritage services he hoped to build at the library. Similarly, the president of a medium-sized city's genealogical society experienced frustration because of difficulty finding volunteers to help her digitize local records. The workshops themselves opened new avenues for cyber organizing. In a post-workshop questionnaire, 68% of participants said that because of the workshops, they felt more likely to lead a digital history project in their communities. I cannot claim this outcome derived from my instruction. The workshops worked best when I functioned as a cyber organizer, bringing people together, helping them share ideas, frustrations, and successes. Bringing together individuals who share interest in everyday heritage, in whatever form, in technology, with whatever literacy, produces results, as these workshops showed. Participants initially overemphasized the importance of technology. They believed that if they, as individuals, just knew more about technology, all their problems could be solved. I worked to intervene into this popular belief about digital heritage by demonstrating how community organizing and technology can come together. Public libraries can do more of this type of work. Although these workshops relied on a small state humanities grant and the support of an iSchool research lab, including some visiting scholars from China working with us that year, this work does not necessarily require great financial or technical investment. Bringing together people to talk about their interest in the past and on how digital technologies can be used to support these interests does not require any money at all. Obviously, not all public libraries have access to grants or to iSchools. However, all can organize local conversations that could catalyze local communities around addressing everyday heritage, information needs, and interests. More research is needed to expand and refine our findings from these Illinois cities and towns, and to add more nuance to our understanding of the means through which public librarians embed digital heritage services into their communities. Public librarians are not waiting for this research to come out, however, but are innovating with resources at hand. We and iSchools have much to learn from these processes as they take place. Thank you very much for your time.